Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video I'll be going through all the build options for the new Exaction Squad kill team for the Adeptus ARBITES. I'll be taking you through the instruction manual and going through all the different build options, and so you can see which operatives you can build from all the parts included in the set. Before we do that, we'll take a look at the main Soul Shackle book, and we'll have a look at all the different things to consider before you start building your models. We'll look at the lore, we'll have a look at the operatives, the different data sheets, and just go into detail about how I make the decisions for which models I'm going to build to include in my kill team. When we've done all that, I'll show you all of my models, go through each one, and just talk through any issues I came across when building them. And hopefully this is going to help you when you start building your kill team. And if it's the first time you've bought any of these box sets, sometimes it can be a bit much with all the information. So hopefully we can cut through all that and get you building and playing in no time. The ARBITES models come with a load of sprues and pieces, and you have a lot left over. So I'll show you that at the end of the video as well. So let's get started, and we'll dive in and have a look at the Soul Shackle book first, where we'll look at some of the things you might want to consider before you start building. Before we go through all the books, I'd like to say a huge thanks to the Little Shop DVD Games, my friendly local game store, who managed to get me a copy of Soul Shackle, so that's really great. But brilliant news, they've got the rest of the Soul Shackle sets that they ordered from Games Workshop today. So if you've ordered through them, and I know some of you have, Brighton Rock, you made a comment recently, so it's cool, your set should be there. So get in touch with them, and then they should have your set available. They often have some hard to find sets available for all different Warhammer games, so check out the link down below and get in touch with them if you'd like to find out what they have in stock. So here we go, here's the Soul Shackle book, and you may have seen my video already where I did an overview so you know exactly what's included. The first step for me when I get these box sets is to have a look at the lore, and so I have a good read through about all the sections that contain anything to do with the kill team I'm building. So this is really cool to read through. There's some great images in there for inspiration as well. So look at the artwork, look at the background, look at the photos as well. This is going to help you, because for me the rule of cool is uppermost when I'm deciding which models to use. The names and demeanours section is really good as well, because you can look through things like squad quirks, backgrounds and base of operation to give you an idea of how they might play on the tabletop, but also all the little stories they include are very helpful as well. So if you can take that information and then put that into your build, I think that's really going to help you stick with the theme of the kill team and play along with the narrative. This is one of the most important sections now. This is where it tells you which operatives you can include. You get 1 ARBITES Proctor Exactant and then 10 Exaction Squad operatives selected from this following list. Now you can see on this list that there are 11 operatives listed, and one of those can be built in 3 different ways. So in fact you've got 13 decisions to make here, but only 10 models to build. So right away you're going to lose 3 of these options. You can see the restrictions here. You can only include up to 2 ARBITES Gunner operatives and 4 ARBITES Subductor operatives. You can take as many ARBITES Vigilant operatives as you like, but your kill team can only include any of the other operatives featured in this list once. As well as that, although you can take 2 gunners, you're only allowed to choose one of the weapons that they carry 1 time per kill team. This page is really important, but you can see that because you have to have 1 Proctor Exactant, you do know that you're going to have to make that model. So your decision is then, which 10 Exaction Squad operatives do you make from this list? To decide that, we can go with Rule of Cool. We can start looking at the rules that come with the Exaction Squad, like TAC Ops and things, which we'll see in a moment. And then, most importantly, look at the data cards and the way each operative plays, and then weigh up whether or not you think they'll fit in with your style of play. So you've got your TAC Ops. These can be thought of as like secondary objectives in 40k, and you've got an ability called Ruthless Efficiency. So that's going to play a big part, as are the strategic and tactical ploys. But it's the data cards that have the information. For example, with the Proctor Exactant, if you go with 1 weapon choice, you can take these abilities, but if you don't choose that weapon, and so if you go for one of the options here with the Combat Shotgun and Repression Baton, you're not going to get those abilities that are included. So I really like those. I think they really play into the theme of this kill team, and so I wanted to go with that, and I like the idea of the guy having the shield there as well. So I'm going to build my Proctor Exactant with the Dominator Maul and Assault Shield. That's the first easy decision to make, but now we have to start looking through all the different data cards and just get an idea about what each model does, because once we move on to the build options, you'll see some of them might overlap. So with the gunner here, he's got all 3 of the different weapon options. You're allowed 2 gunners, but only 1 weapon, 1 time each per kill team. So it's really looking at how the special rules play out. I know I'm definitely going to include the Cyber Mastiff, and so the Leash Master is going to come with him as well. So those are 2 more I'm definitely going to build. And then as we look at some of the other ones, I know 100% want the Marksman, always build the Snipers. And then I'm going to look at the rules for these different ones and then decide how many Subductors I'm going to have. I can have up to 4. And then also the Vigilant and the Vox Signifier. Now these are quite interesting because all their stats are exactly the same, but the Vox Signifier gets this unique action. So that's really cool, because you could build the Vox Signifier but use it as a Vigilant if you wanted to, or vice versa. One thing to bear in mind though, their specialisms are a bit different, so you're going to get some different ones there which will affect which battle honours they can have. And that's another good place to look as well, the Spec Ops rules for your narrative games. Look at all the assets, requisitions and the Spec Ops, because that's really going to give you a good idea about how they might play on the tabletop. There we go then, that's step 1. So quite a lot of reading to do, just picking up on the background of the kill team and then diving in and looking at the Exaction Squad rules, the different operatives you can choose, what abilities you like that will be influenced by which ones you build. That's really important. And then looking at the stats as well and choosing which models you also think look really cool. So once you've done that, it's time to move over and have a look at the instruction book. So let's go through that now. And these instruction books are pretty good for Kill Team at the moment. Nice and laid out, very clear, and it gives you all the different options. So here you can see for the first model, this is going to be your leader. We know we need just one of these, so we have to make a decision from this selection. And personally, I don't like the one where he's got the speaker on the model itself, so I know I want that separate. And I know I'm going to build him with the shield. So the first decision for me was super easy. I'm going for the green option. Now I know I'm going to build that model, I just build this one first and I get it out of the way, and then I know at least I've got one done. Then I move on to the second one, and here you can see you've got 3 options. You can build the gunner, the vigilant, or the subductor. Now the gunner is going to come with 1 weapon option in this build, and that's the grenade launcher. Now I quite like that one. I think it plays in with the theme. So I decided to go ahead and build the grenade launcher as my heavy gunner. I also like the AP1 as the special rule. So now I've got my model 2 ready to go. For the next model, we've got 4 options. The Chirurgant, the Leash Master, Subductor and Vigilant. Now I know I want to go with the Leash Master, so I'm definitely going to build that one. I could change the arms and use a different body, but I'm going to stick with that because I know I want to go with the Leash Master, and I'm not bothered about the Chirurgant, which is a medic. So I'm not bothered about having a medic on the team. For the next model, we've got the Vigilant, Subductor or Castigator. Now I have to go with the Castigator. It just looks awesome, and so that was an easy one to make just based on rule of cool. Then the Marksman, you're going to get to choose again Vigilant, Subductor and a Specialist. So I'm going with the Marksman. I know I want that model. And then this one here, I've decided that I want to take the body but put different arms on it. So I've taken the body from this one, and then I'm going to go and get the arms from one of the other configurations. So here we go. I'm going to use the arms from this one. This is the Vox Signifier. So I'm going to make a Vox Signifier that can also be used as a regular Vigilant. So I've got the 2 options from the one model. Mostly I'll use him as the Vox Signifier though. But I just don't like the pose of that baton there. Then we've got another easy choice to make. This is another one of the cool models. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Revelatum. And then on this one, I'm going to go straight in and choose the Malicator. So that's a nice easy one as well. And then up here, I'm going to go with a Subductor. I like the pose of that one, so that's really great. Just going to build it as you can see in the green. And then down here, I've used the arms of the Vox Signifier, but I haven't used the body and components for the Subductor. So I'm just going to go ahead and build the green option for this model as well. Then as we flip the page, we've got a final option to build that Cyber Mastiff. So again, there's no choice to be made, except for those saddlebags. Do you want to put those on? I've decided to add them. They don't bring anything to the game itself, but I think they look cool. And I also think I might be able to use this guy as a medic. I think that could work and be quite interesting as well. So it just gives me another option. And then I'll use the Leash Master as something else. So you've got the option of proxy models. I think once you've built the ones you really like the look of, you could always add another gun to the back of them, glue it on, even glue a shield to their back, and then use them as 2 different options. But I've picked out the ones I like, and I'm happy because I think they'll play really well. And I think this fits in with the rules as well. I can bring in all the rules I like. I can play those abilities with the shields. I think that's going to be really fun to have the leader going up with a couple of the subductors and being pretty tough in close combat. Of course, they don't have many wounds, only 7, but I still think it could be quite interesting to play that in there. And having the grenade launcher fits in with this kind of riot police look. So now let's have a look at the models then. So here's the first one I put together. This is the Proctor Exactant, and I've built him with the Dominator Maul and Assault Shield. And I've also chose the helmet that doesn't have like the double eagle, just the single one. And then I've built the speaker separately and put it on another 25mm base. Now it doesn't come with a base for this, so I found I had to use one from my existing collection. Next up, I've got the 2 subductors. I think these look fantastic. So having 3 models in the kill team with shields, I really like that idea. Having a little group you could put together that would be all close combat, I think is a really fun way to go with these. Then we've got this guy, a great pose and an iconic look from all the images we've seen in the build up to the box being released. This is the Revelator, and he's got a great ability called First in the Field, where he can make a free normal move action in the initiative phase of the first turning point. I really like that. Then we've got this interesting looking character. This is the Malacator, and he's got a great ability as well. He can perform a mission action or pickup action for 1 less action point, so that's going to come in handy. He's also got another unique action as well, which can give some benefits when you're attacking some of the enemy models. So yeah, this one's really cool. Really pleased I put him in there. Then I've gone for the Vox Signifier, which I'll also use as a Vigilant. Very similar, the stats are the same, except for those specialisms, which are a little bit different. But he's got the edge because he can give that extra APL, or 1 APL, to one of the other operatives. So that's a nice, unique action he's got. And you can see here, this radio on the back is only slightly different to the others, so he doesn't stand out all that much. So giving him the bigger weapon there is definitely worth doing. Then we've got this guy, the Castigator. I really picked him just because he looked good. I'm a bit concerned about this kind of gimp mask he's got going on though. He definitely stands out from the rest because of that, but I built it as it showed in the instruction book. And so yeah, he's going to be a pretty serious character to get stuck in with some close combat with. And then there's the gunner. So I went with a grenade launcher because I like the idea. It fits in. It's not a huge gun like the heavy stubber, which I think looks cool, but doesn't suit the tone of this kill team. I also like the special rule AP1, so I've gone for that. You can see I've drilled the hole in the sniper rifle, and I'm probably going to do the same with this gunner as well. So I'll do that later on, but I wanted to get them all built first. Then we've got the marksman. This is one of my favourites. I think they do a great job with their sniper characters, and they've done another really cool build here with this, and this one's great. He's got a nice unique action called Take Aim for 1 AP, where the model he's equipped with is going to gain the balanced and no cover special rules. That's really nice. Then there's the Leash Master. So this is one that's definitely worth building if you're going to be taking the Cyber Mastiff. So he was an auto include for me, and I just really like the theme and the look of this model as well. The thing you put on the back with the baton and the handcuffs is a really cool detail, and I think it just all works really nicely. I like these a lot better seeing them in person than I did seeing the pictures. And here's that Cyber Mastiff. How cool is this? So I put the little backpacks or side packs on there, and then I'm thinking I could use this potentially as the medic as well if I don't want to play the Leash Master in the kill team. So that's an option. So it's fun to proxy little things like that, but I can certainly imagine the dog running around healing people with the med packs. That's all of the models built now, and here's the sprues that are left over just to give you a good idea of how many options you get, because you might want to pick these up when they're available separately and use them for 40k. So if you wanted to do that, you can build them all with the shotguns, so you can make all of them as the vigilance if you wanted to, and you could also make them all as the subductors because you've got 10 shields as well. So you've certainly got a lot of options, and then you've got the 3 special weapons included as well. Here's all the shields left over, so tons and tons of bits. So I think you'll be happy if you buy this as a single kill team. I think you're going to be impressed with the amount you get, and some cool stuff to add to the bits box once you're finished. There we go then, that's the Exaction Squad kill team for the Adeptus ARBITES, and I hope this video has been helpful to show you exactly what's included in the books, the different operatives you can build, and you might be thinking you want to get hold of 2 sets so you can have lots more options, get more of those subductors and vigilance built. But for me, I like having all the specialists and the different operatives in there with those cool special rules and abilities. So I like to mix it up rather than going with all of the same. But I think you've got some nice options here. And again, I hope this helped you to make the decisions on what you're going to build for your kill team. Now we've gone through how to build the ARBITES, you might want to check out the video on how to build the Drukhari. That's going up next, so if you're watching this in the future, that's probably already available on the channel. And you can also see the unboxing video for the Soul Shackle box set and the book overview in case you want to pick up any of the elements individually when they're released separately in the future. But thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it gave you a good idea about how you might like to put together your ARBITES kill team. But if you liked the video, please hit the like button, subscribe as well, that'd be awesome if you've been enjoying the videos recently, and I look forward to seeing you here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'd like to say a massive thank you to my Patreon supporters for helping me keep going with these daily videos. I really appreciate your support, couldn't do this without you, so thank you so much.